Okay, officially welcoming everybody. Hi, I'm Lisa Leonard, the Public Image Chair for District 7450. This is the third of our public image trainings, and I'm glad that you are all here. We have a very special guest, Rochelle, who's going to be talking to us about all things related to these ezStories. And if you've not heard of ezStories or ezBulletins, hang tight because it's going to be very interesting. And a little teaser here, there is a really great reason why you are going to want to learn this. And it has to do with increasing your chances of getting your club's news and your Rotary good stuff promoted in a more efficient, perhaps more visible way that you'll learn more about after Rochelle's presentation is done. So I hope that is enough to get you to perk up your ears, pay attention, take some notes, and know that this ezStories functionality, once you learn it, it's going to be literally easy. And it's going to be a wonderful way for you to help us, the public image team, promote you and your Rotary work. Okay, so we've had some experience with it already, and we're going to be moving forward with using this ezStories every month. And in addition, Paul Quintavalla's newsletter has moved to that format as well. So lots of reasons why this hour is going to be a good one. So with that, I would like to introduce Jay Penny, who is going to introduce Rochelle. And Jay, are you there, or are you?
I am.
Okay. Jay Penny is the Lieutenant Governor of the area known as District Services. And under that, part of that rather, is communications. So Jay and I have been working closely together on everything that relates to like incoming and outgoing communications within the district and helping the clubs stay connected with the district and communicate back to the clubs, et cetera. So we've been working closely together. And with that, I'll turn the mic over to Lieutenant Governor Jay Penny.
Thank you, Lisa, and welcome everyone tonight. And I think we'll just get right to it here. And I want to introduce Rochelle, who's been very, very helpful to me many times at DACdb. But a little bit on Rochelle Langley. She is a member of the Rotary Club of Sand Springs in District 6110. She was first introduced to Rotary when she went to work for the Rotary Club in Tulsa. In 2018, Rochelle became the district administrator for the District 6110 and joined DACdb in 2019 as a member of the support team. Rochelle is a graduate of North Georgia University with a degree in Human Service Delivery Administration, and she served in many roles, including student counseling and career services, nonprofit case manager, adoption facilitation, and the Department of Human Services. Currently, Rochelle resides in Cleveland, Oklahoma, with her husband, Brian, and son, Petey, and their canine fur baby. I love that name. Rochelle and Brian enjoy spending time with their 5 children and 3 grandchildren. So with that, we're going to give it to you, Rochelle.
Hi, everyone. I'm super excited to be here and to be able to show you the ezBulletin and ezStories. As a Rotarian, I know that time is very valuable when you're a volunteer. One thing I love about DACdb and why I love working for DACdb is that it's a one-stop shop to help manage pretty much anything and everything you need to manage for your clubs. But telling your club story and what your club has going on is like the most important thing you could be doing. So I am going to share my screen. And let me know if can everyone see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. And let me make sure I'm sharing the right one. So I'm over here. I'm actually in your district and in Jay's club. I like to impersonate people, but both Jay and I are pretty high level users. So you may see a few things here that a lower level user doesn't normally see. I'll try to make sure to point those out, but for the most part, we're all seeing the same thing, whatever, well, let me take that back. As long as you have access to create ezStories, you want to usually make sure you're at least a level 3. So if you're like a bulletin editor with that club position, you're automatically going to be a level 3 and have all the access you need. So make sure that anyone that's going to be creating stories and bulletins for your club is listed with that club position as bulletin editor. Higher level users like a level 4 and higher, they will automatically be able to access this area as well. So when you log into Dagdb, you see a series of tabs across the top. You're going to click on the My Club tab, and then you'll see these icons. If you don't see the ezStory, and let me move this up, the ezStory and ezBulletin icons, this cogwheel over here in the very top right corner is where you can find it. This is your configuration. Here at the top, you'll see the icons displayed and the available icons below. You can just drag and drop the icons and then click on Set My Configuration, and the icons will be added for you. So we're going to actually start over here in ezStory, because this is where you're going to create all the content for your ezBulletin. And we want to make it really easy when we get over to the bulletin side too, so you can do like what's called a one-click build, and everything is going to build in the bulletin really quickly. So you're going to click on ezStory. And Jay, once we get done with the demonstration, I'll make sure I delete our test story here. But you'll see here in the left side menu, you can show all stories, published stories, approved stories, review stories, and draft stories. As you are creating stories, and we're going to do that here in a minute, and this will make more sense, but you'll see each section is going to be labeled. So here are all of Jay's published stories. To add a story, you're going to click on this Add Story button. On the new page is where you start building that story out. So you add your story name. We're going to just say this is a test. When you click in the headline field, whatever you've added up here for your story name is automatically going to populate in the headline. You don't have to leave the headline the same as the story name that you've entered here. You know, you may even want to say this is part 1 test. So you can change these out, but when you initially enter the story name, it's going to automatically populate in the headline field for you. This story state, this is kind of, you can set these up with privileges and things. So, you know, if anyone in your club, it can create a story, but then club leadership has to go through and review and approve and then publish those stories. So I'm going to leave this story in draft because I want to go back and show you what those sections look like. Your story start date and end date, these can be pretty important, especially, like I said, if you want to make this a very efficient kind of process, you want to make sure you have an end date on your stories. Once that end date hits, that story won't be able to be pulled into the ezBulletin. So I'm gonna just pick the end of the month for purposes here. Now, main story image. This is where you could upload like a thumbnail type image. These images are going to, you know, when you build your bulletin, that main story image will alternate left and right. It kind of helps define each story, but I don't recommend adding a main story image if you're going to be using a lot of graphics in the story content area too. it tends to be too much and it just doesn't make your bulletin look very good. Then this next section is called Show Story In. Here's one of my favorite things. You know, my district and my club use DACdb, so they're subscribing to like the Dagdb websites and things like that. So I can actually use one story and push it out, publish it in 3 different places. On the website, the home page, and this home page is actually this home tab up here in the very top left corner, and we're going to visit over there in a minute. But you can publish a story there, and you can publish it in your ezBulletin. I have never published a story on my dashboard. I like to leave the dashboard for statistics and that type of data to only show there. And then e-meeting is mainly for like those e-clubs. So if you're an e-club, you would have a website, so you would be showing it in different places. But
Rochelle, excuse me, I'd like to interrupt for just a minute. Since you've just mentioned the various places that these ezStories can be used, this really ties into the new process that we are excited to launch here, that I'd love for all of you to be aware of and then start using. We are hoping that by anybody who's a program chair or who has the ability to write an interesting story about something that your clubs are doing together, or some kind of a great event that you want help promoting. An easier way for us to get the word out, to help you with public image, basically, is for us to ask you to input it yourselves using exactly what Rochelle is saying here. So basically, we are looking for a bunch of you to be our field reporters, and you share the information into this form here using the ezStories format, and then it's going to all be collected, and that the Public Image Committee and the district now will have access to all of the details, all the photos, and then from there we can curate, we can help promote. Well, let's get this one in the next issue of the monthly newsletter. Let's feature this on Facebook next week, or let's promote this on the front page of the district website. So by you contributing and doing the uploading and the typing into this format, that's going to help us spread the word. So that's, again, I'm just trying to help you understand the reason why we're having tonight's training. So thank you, Rochelle. That's the interruption, and that's what I wanted to say. Thanks.
So before you go on, since I'm here because of the program, the Youth Exchange program, so would I do this through my club page?
you can, yes.
Well, really through our personal DACdb username and passcode, right?
Right.
The individuals just
Right,
have to log into DACdb, and then they'll have access to upload the story, right?
Exactly. So
Do it for your club, not at the district level, if you're doing a district thing.
both. The answer is both. And we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves.
Okay.
But you see this share button up here in the top right corner. This, when you have your story created and you come back in and click this share button, this is going to share this story with the district. And I'll demonstrate how that works as well. But once you've created your story and then shared it with the district, at the district level, it's going to come in as a draft story. And they'll know that you, the club member, and the club submitted this story because you wanted to make sure the district saw it. And that's kind of telling the district they can publish this story if they would like, and they'll also be able to see who was publishing it, and if they need to contact you about any of the content or, the story itself, they'll be able to know exactly who they need to get in touch with. But so yeah, we've got this. I'm going to leave this in draft for just a few minutes, and I'll try to be a little bit quicker. But you can add like categories and things So if you're doing like an upcoming social event, you can click that category and it'll keep track. So categories I've noticed are really used more for that like website. And as on the websites, you can feed stories and have each category separated on that story page. But then we're going to go over here to the content area. And this is where you're going to just add your content. Like I said earlier, you can, this toolbar is fantastic. I really like it. And you can upload images and you're actually uploading them to your DACdb server. So this server is specific for your club within your district. And you can click on Browse Server. We're going to take a look at what Jay has been working on. He's super busy. But you can see he's got his images here. These will stay here until you remove them. Another little tip is that we do not charge right now for any of this storage space. So keep that in mind. I know the only thing, I want to be clear, the only thing that you cannot upload into DACdb are MP3 and MP4 files, those audio video files. And that's mainly because of copyright infringement. And we don't want to get caught in the middle of a battle if that may arise, which it sometimes does. But you can upload here. There is the upload button. You can also do some editing and things. I'm going to use this virtual game. Here you can see we've got our image here. You can adjust the size, the pixel size. I'm going to make this like 250. You can also create a border or the height space and vertical space. That helps add the padding around your content. And you can also set a left or right alignment. So I'm going to click OK because I want you to see what this looks like. So here I've aligned this to the left. We have our content here. Sometimes you want an image to be centered, and you'll notice that like center is not one of the alignment options here. So one of my workarounds for that, and I'm going to cut this, is to do a table. So I can do a 1 row, 1 column table and center it. Click OK. And then I'm going to paste my image within that table, kind of clean it up a little. And there my image has a nice little border around it and it's centered very easily. So
Thank you. Oh, sorry, Rochelle. We do have a question in the audience, and I also wanted to give Jay Penny a chance to clarify something he just typed in the chat. Is now a good time?
Sure.
Okay. Jay, did you want to clarify something?
Yeah, the question was posed that they didn't see the categories in there. You have to set that up separately yourself. That's a separate process.
Yes, over here in the left side menu
Yeah.
is where you create your category.
I would agree with Rochelle that it's probably only useful if you have a DACdb website.
Yeah.
So if I had known that, I probably wouldn't have set it up because the Philadelphia Club does not have a DACdb website.
Right.
That makes sense. And the district as a whole won't be using those categories for bulletins or searching through stories.
I don't believe so.
No, I don't think so either.
All right, fair enough. Cool. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for the question, Joe, and thanks for answering. before we continue with Rochelle, I also wanted to say, of course, that any club who does not have a newsletter and has been thinking about increasing, your communication with your prospective members or your community business leaders, or even just within your membership, rather than sending a mass, email to all your members, you could conceivably use this ezStories, ezBulletin rather, as your new newsletter. So that's also an option. I was just excited to tell you about how Jay and I and the Public Image Committee for the district are planning to use this functionality with your input, with your inputting your stories. But do know that Rochelle is teaching us something that we can all just use on a club level as well. Okay, thank you, Rochelle.
You bet. So I know images can also be tricky for a lot of people when they're creating stories. One thing that I have found helpful is, instead of struggling with the editor, the toolbar that's in Dagdb to edit these images, I find it easier to use my own editing software. And once I've edited those images, then I can just upload it when it's ready. So we're going to just click save up here so we can come back here to our story list. And here is the draft story. Once we click this edit pencil and go back and publish it, let's click save again. And I should have done this earlier. This is where we can click share. We're going to share it. You can have the option to just say copy to the district, or you can actually move it to the district ezStory list. So if you don't plan on using this story at the club level, you can create it and then just move it to the district, and then the district will have access. Right, for our purposes, we're going to copy this story because we want to save this story for when we're building the bulletin. So now that we've done that, we're going to scoot over here to the district and take a look at their ezStories, and you'll see right here is the draft, and there's our part 1 test story that we just created at the club level. Now the district can decide if they want to use this story in their bulletin. I'm going to come back over here to the club. One other thing I want to point out is this share button. This is for you to share your stories on Facebook easily as well. I don't want to click it because I don't want to mess up anything on the Philadelphia Facebook page, but I would definitely keep that in mind. That's another great feature that we just recently added, but it helps push out information, tell your club story in a click of a button. You've already done all the work, you just click the buttons. Another thing is remember your left side navigation. Instead of coming back up to the My Club tab to navigate over the ezBulletin, you can click on it right here in your left side menu of ezStory. So I'm going to click on that. If you haven't created a bulletin template, you're going to want to click on the Edit Template button, and you'll see right here that you can create a new template.
Now, clarifying, excuse me, creating the template is only necessary if you're wanting to create your own newsletter.
Yes.
For your club. Jay and I are right now creating a template for the district, what's going to be called the District Dispatch. It will be a monthly newsletter. And so we got that covered. All we're going to ask you to do is just type in your stories and send us photos. But yeah, if you need to create your own new publication, then here's what you need to know about the templates.
And you'll notice the District Dispatcher. That's a catchy name. So I would encourage clubs to kind of think about that. And, a lot of clubs in my district just say, the Rotary Club of Pryor newsletter or the Tulsa Bulletin, something like that. I've had clubs in the past that use Monday Minute. They, the bulletin name in itself can be a great eye catcher to a non-member. So you would just choose which template format you want to use. I'm going to go back because I don't want to create too big of a mess here in the Philadelphia Club. We're going to work, you'll see here, it looks like Jay was working with the district template, but I'm going to go with this Loveland theme that he's created. You'll also see up here, he's got Denver theme, Lakewood theme. These are all like different color schemes go with each one. I like the Loveland theme because it's kind of a light. I believe the Denver theme is a dark blue. When you initially create your template, you're going to come in here and decide what you want to auto-populate into the template. You can see here, you can change to the Denver or Lakewood. And then this is the Centennial theme. We're going to go back to Loveland. There was another one up here too called the Parker theme. But you'll just see the sidebar color scheme kind of changes as you go through these different templates. I like this one because it really pops with that bright pinkish red color. Here on the header, oh, you can also add the date. So I like to add that right below the header. That'll auto-populate when we build it. Header colors, if you know your color code number, you can type those in right there. If you want to use, something different than what we've already gotten populated here. The headers, you can do, this is like a basic, Dagdb, we work really hard to be compliant with RI. So all of our headers are RI compliant. The RI police will not be contacting you. But if you'd like, you can upload your own image with your club logo, or just do a regular image. I think this image holder is one where you would possibly need to switch out your header more often than I like to do, but some clubs like to mix it up and have something different on their bulletin each week. Again, that's kind of having to touch it. So my demonstration today is try to be as efficient as possible. The same with the body colors. Here are your body tags. You'll see Jay has pulled over this stories tag. This is how the stories, the ezStories, pull into the bulletin. Over here on the left side, he's got these sidebar tags that he's added, which include his club leadership, the RI theme, and he's got years of service and birthdays that'll populate in the left side menu. And it doesn't look like he's added anything on the footer. So we're just going to work from this template. I'm going to say update and submit. Once your template is built, you're going to need to do what's called advanced build the first time. After this, depending on how you set your bulletin up, you can just do one click build instead of advanced build. But this is where you will pull over your stories. Let's see. We'll do our public image training. I'm looking for our part 1 test, but it's not.
Did you make it published?
That's what I was just wondering.
I don't think you did. I'm not sure, but
Let me go back. Let's go back here. Oh, here I forgot about this. You'll see here where it says show on. I don't have it set to show anywhere. So that's why it didn't pull into that bulletin area. We want to make sure we check this ezBulletin box. We're going to save that. Come back over here. We're going to go new bulletin. Since we've already built our bulletin, so I think I might have gone fast there. Now that we know we have our bulletin template built, you can just click on new bulletin and it'll allow you to select any one of the templates that you have. We're going back here. Here's our part 1 test. So I'm going to bring that over and then we'll do this and public image training. But I don't like the order that these are in. I want my greetings to be on top. So you can just click and use these arrows to move things around however you want them to appear in the bulletin. Here on the birthdays, you can set the dates that you want those birthdays to pull in. I'm going to leave that there. That's about a month's worth. We'll see how many people have birthdays in the next month in the Philadelphia Club. And then your years of service, you know, again, this is about a month's worth. I wouldn't do any more than that. And your club leaders, you can, if you only want to show specific club leaders in the bulletin, you can enter what's called a role key. So like P for president, S for secretary, T for treasurer, PE is president-elect. You could enter those here, and those would be the only club leadership roles that will populate. If you leave it blank, they're all going to populate. So any club positions that you have entered, they will show up in the bulletin. You're going to scroll back up to the top and click on Build It. And there's our bulletin. It's really, really easy once you initially get through the setup. Once you're ready to publish this, you want to click on Save. And then we're going to have this pop-up window. I'm going to call this Test. Click Submit. So now we've saved it and it's over here in the draft section of the bulletin. So your bulletin and your ezStory have a draft section and a publish. They separate everything. Once you're ready for this to be published, you're going to click on the edit pencil, go back into your bulletin, and up in the very top right corner, you're going to see Publish. When we click on Publish, we can go back to our bulletins. Here's our test. It's published, and we have the opportunity to send it in a PMail. So I'm going to click on this PMail icon. In this window is where you can select member types that you want to include in this bulletin PMail. So if you are wanting to include like your Friends of Rotary or honorary members, make sure you check those boxes so that they're included, and you'll click on Send PMail. This brings you over to PMail in Dagdb, and you'll see the bulletin is populated in the body of the PMail message. All of your club members and Friends of Rotary or honorary members, any of those member types that you've selected, are going to populate in the To section as a recipient of this message. And you can either schedule it to go out, or you can just click Send to send it immediately. So do we have any questions?
Any questions? Now would be a great time while we have Rochelle here. I also want to remind you that this Zoom is being recorded, so you'll be able to replay it if you need a refresher. And also, Rochelle, could you just quickly let everybody know where they could find the videos that are already existing?
Yeah. So here under the support tab, this is our current help page. This is going to have a new look soon. We've updated everything. We're just putting some final touches on that other support page before we roll it out to everyone. Here in the left side menu, you have Dagdb training. The Dagdb University Tuesday training, that's a weekly training that we hold every Tuesday. And all of those videos are available right here. And we've been doing this since COVID hit and everybody moved to a virtual platform. So we really tried to step up and make sure we had these items available to everyone. Also under the support page, you'll see a list of folders over here. We have a folder for ezStory. Where did it go? Yep, right down here. They took the easy out and just called it stories. So you'll want to open the story folder and you'll see there are like step-by-step instructions that also have screenshots and can pretty much walk you through everything. The ezBulletin, we also have somewhere right here. It's under new ezBulletin is the folder you want to click on. The newsletter bulletin is the old platform that we used to use. But again, ezBulletin, we've got some videos right here that you can get started with. This getting started area also has some step-by-step instructions, although the new area is going to have much more detailed information when it comes to ezBulletin. We've really built this out over in that other section. You can click on the bulletins folder and the templates folder to find all you really need to know in getting your bulletins built. I am going to share with everyone my email address and our support number in the chat box. So you've got that in case you want to give me a call. But here under the support tab as well is that phone number to reach us, and the email address is support@dacdb.com. If you don't get me, do not hesitate to submit a support ticket. And in that support ticket, all you have to say is, I need to talk to Rochelle, or you can even go through and, type out whatever issue you're having. And anyone on our support team will get back with you and get you through this. DACdb is a very robust system, so I try to encourage everyone not to get frustrated. If you get stuck, don't spend hours trying to figure something out on your own. Shoot me an email, give us a call. I try to return all of our calls every single day and make sure all of my emails and tickets are resolved before I sign off for the night. So don't hesitate to get in touch with us when you need help. Are there any other questions?
I do. I have. So as chair of Youth Exchange, I go through my DACdb page and my club page, but then I just send it to the district. Is there a way for me to send it to Friends of Youth Exchange that are outside of the district and outside of the club?
That can be a little bit tricky. And my hesitation is that trying to send it to those Rotary Youth Exchange students is really, really a challenge. The challenge is that no one under the age of 18 can have a record within DACdb. It's just kind of a security issue, as well as RI doesn't want us doing that. They've set up.
I was thinking more of past host families,
So those people, I would suggest making them a friend of your club so that they could be included. Now I know,
but then the newsletter would be coming from the club. It wouldn't be coming from District 7450 Youth Exchange.
Let me see. They could be added. You could do like a it's called like a Z Guest Club, Z Guest of District. We could create a Z Rotary Youth Exchange at the district level, that type of club. And then the district could include those people that were added in that club to the district newsletter. It's a
Also in
little,
Pmail, can you not just write the name in as like who it's from in Pmail? I thought there was a,
well, Pmail is a little bit tricky too, because it's personalized mail. We have multiple layers of security. And the reason I really like Pmail is that when the message is sent out, nobody else's contact information is included on that. So if someone were to get hacked, only that person that got hacked is has that information been compromised. When you start, because you wouldn't be able to put it in this to section, you would actually had to add a CC. And when you start adding the CC email addresses, those are visible. So anybody that's added in a CC on an email, if a person gets hacked, their email address has been exposed as well, and they're more than likely to get hacked too.
Donna, how are you currently communicating with your Friends of Youth Exchange, your former host families, et cetera?
We haven't done a lot, but we've used MailChimp.
MailChimp. Okay. So one thing that's just coming off the top of my head, maybe Rochelle has another idea, is if you just keep doing what you're doing and communicating with MailChimp, whatever that article is that you've posted into your MailChimp for those people, could you just copy and paste it into this system as an easy story that then would give me the access to it, that then, you know, we could include it in our district-wide communications, including social media?
That's what I'm thinking, is that this would, that I would use this just to send you stories.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, that and use something else for, you know, our mailing list.
I would think if MailChimp is working well for you now, you know, I'm seems like no reason to stop that. But thank you though for understanding though that it would require a copy and paste into the system then in order to kind of give the district access to promoting it to a larger audience.
Okay.
Actually, I did have a question that maybe is like piggybacking off of what Donna is asking here. So I noticed there is an option as we're creating stories to just like write source code. So I'm wondering if it's easy enough for if you use a mailing system today like MailChimp or Constant Contact, which is what our club uses, if we could just switch over to the source code of that.
Exactly. Yes, you can paste like the HTML code into either ezStory, or if you have it, I believe when you're in Pmail, you can paste that HTML code. Like you could remove that coding there, use this source, and paste your HTML code from what you've built outside of DACdb into the Pmail. Does that make sense? Is that what you were asking?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was asking. Yeah, thank you.
That's way above my pay grade.
For sure, it went over my head as well. But Joe, I'm glad you're understanding.
You know, this is I've recently learned that. That's why I was thinking that we were on the same page there. But yes, if you've got the HTML code, you can populate that bulletin over here in the Pmail directly.
Yeah, I'll go out and say it's generally above my pay grade as well. But it is some of the mail tools that we have now. It's easy enough. There's like a way to switch it over, and you can basically build it out like a Word document, and then there's a button that will show you all the HTML code that you could just copy and paste in here is like my thought.
Right. And now, again, I know in Constant Contact and MailChimp, you have the ability to add those videos. I'm hoping that we have that capability in the near future. But at this time, that even if you included that HTML coding, I don't think the videos would come through correctly.
Right. In fact, we had a conversation today about that. You can't embed videos yet. Hopefully that'll change. But
Right.
you can put the link there, and I've been using that fine.
Yes.
It works great.
And the district does have a YouTube page. So any content that you want on the district YouTube page, send it to me. I'll get it up on the district page, and then you'd have access to the link to share and use however you like. Juliana, did you have a question that you wanted to ask Rochelle? I know earlier you asked about the red logo, the RI logo. Rochelle, did you showed what looked like a red logo, and we were just curious about the getting away from the gold and blue color scheme. So we now have more flexibility with colors, don't we?
We do have more flexibility with colors. I need to go to bulletins. This is the main thing that you don't want to mess with. And the way the Rotary and Club of Philadelphia fall. This is what you can change the color here, but you can't, like, they don't want you messing with the font styles and the way that this lays out. They want Rotary on top and the club name below it. And you may be covering this, but the Rotary Brand Center is a fantastic place to go to get your club logos. You can create a logo over there and we can add it here instead.
Thank you. Donna asked a number of the questions I was interested in. I had a question, I don't know if this is the place for it, where I think you said that it has to have like 720 pixels. I have no idea how to change pixels. Is there an easy way to learn that, or is that a different subject altogether?
So for bulletins, I think I've had to do some playing around with this. I think for a bulletin, I wouldn't go any higher with images than 300 pixels. And if you're uploading your images here in DACdb, you're right here where it says width and height. These are in pixel sizes. So if you wanted to upload an image and then adjust that size of that image, you would just change this over here. A lot of times I will upload a high resolution image. So it's like 2000 pixels. And of course that would just blow everything up. So I upload the high resolution image and then I size it down to
So
about.
do you size it down by scrolling or typing in the number? And how do you know what number you should put? Because is there a proportion? That's the part I don't get.
When it comes to images and making sure that they are, and especially if you're having images in close proximity to one another, you know how if you have like a, one image is portrait orientation and the other one is a landscape. The important piece of that pie is to make sure the height is the same. Doing the images and stuff is like a whole nother presentation.
Okay, that's fine.
Happy to help with you.
That's fine.
Making sure that the height of the images is really key in making sure that the images look good in the bulletin and are, you know, especially if they're in close proximity, because I know sometimes people like to get really creative and they'll do some overlays, almost like a puzzle piece kind of graphic with multiple images. If you're going to do something like that, you want to make sure you do that outside of DACdb.
Okay.
You're going to find it much easier manipulating those images with, I use, I've got some software on my Mac that I use. It's called a Snippet, but it's got a snippet editor that I can manipulate. What I normally use is a subscription to Snagit. I love using Snagit. I can manipulate images all that I want. My advice when it comes to images is find something that you're comfortable working with. That's the best approach.
So to piggyback on what Juliana has asked, is there a place where you can do in many of the, so let me back up a second. For many image presentations, there's a proportional choice, so that if you brought the width down to 250, that would proportionally bring the height down appropriately.
So if I, like this image right here, if I change this to 200, it's automatically changing the height. Now this is where it can be a little bit tricky. You know, if you want all of your images to be a height of 115, your width is going to be a little bit different. But yes, you can adjust width and height within DACdb. I just encourage you to try to adjust those outside of DACdb, because once you get over here into this browser, and it's got an editor. So let's see right here. You can start trying to edit this over here, but it can be very frustrating. It's not as user friendly as I would like for it to be. That's why, you know, I would encourage you to just use whatever you're comfortable with. If you get in here and you start working with this may be your preferred way. But I've used other advanced software, so this isn't my favorite way to edit images and get them placed.
Juliana? Yeah, I would jump in here real quick,
Mhm.
and I've not had to edit any of the images. I just use DACdb.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, please, who has access to the photos that are uploaded? You have a screen of all these photos. Who has access to that? Anyone else in DACdb? Can you make them available to anyone else? Are they private? What is the status?
Each club has their own browser. This is the Philadelphia club browser. You'll see over here, we have the club. Then you have the district. Usually whatever is uploaded at the district, you would have access to that as well. And then you have a personal folder. So you can upload images that only you would have access to.
And who can upload to the district?
District leadership. So you're going to need to be at least a 5 or higher to upload images for the district.
So for example, then for the case of wanting program chairs, let's just use Youth Exchange as an example. Again, if Donna has a story about Youth Exchange and a great photo for Youth Exchange, can you again just show us on the screen where she's starting the process of entering her story and where she's uploading her photo, please? I think that would be helpful.
So we're going to start here in our ezStory that we've created.
In my club, is that correct?
Right.
Everybody's going to begin with my club. Okay.
In the toolbar here, you see this image icon. I'm going to go. You can click on it. Once you're here, you can upload. This is uploading, giving you the opportunity to choose a file directly from your device, or you can click over here on this browse server. When you browse the server opens and you'll see you have an upload button in the very top left corner, and your club files folder will be right there. So you'll want to decide whether you're going to put it in the club folder or the personal folder. and then you just click upload. When you click upload, you have the opportunity to, again, to select the image from your device to upload, or you can select one that's already uploaded to the server.
Okay, so she has just put things into the club folder. So then for our district purposes, then does she have to do anything to have it be visible by the district committee?
If she's, say she uploaded this image and she's added it to her story, it'll be available in the story.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it is kind of up to the district, I think, to either allow clubs to upload those images directly to that district folder,
I
or
see. Okay.
keep it to their club folder.
Okay.
I would prefer, you know, when I was district administrator, I would just ask them to upload it to their club folder.
Okay.
Because at the district level, like Jay and I, we can switch. We can come up and click on our name, and we can switch to different clubs.
Okay, gotcha.
But also at the district level, let me go over here. We can come in to this browser, and once we've switched to the club, their club folder will be visible to the district leadership.
Okay.
So if you're a level, you know, 6 or higher, you're going to have access to all of the clubs. You know, you can just switch and upload that folder, and once it's over in the district, you've got it.
Okay, thank you. And also, for everybody who's here, we will be sending an instruction cheat sheet that you can have with you when you're ready to start posting your stories and uploading your images. So do know that we're going to help support you in any way we can, because we're wanting you to start using this and then to make it easy for you. We don't want this to be a big old headache. So instructions are coming, right, Jay Penny?
Yes, and I would jump into, and if you're not going to use the club bulletin for your club, and it's mostly sharing stories only, I wouldn't even worry about the position of the photo. Just get the best photo you can, get it in there with the text. We can easily manipulate it later for our purposes. So don't worry about that too much.
Yeah. And if you get in a bind, feel free to call me. I'm happy to help with these images.
Yeah,
it can get a little frustrating.
Yeah, and I'm happy to help also.
Yeah, before I go, I just want to make sure that everyone also sees this club bulletin icon. When you publish your bulletins, this is where they populate in a PDF. So if you need to send someone the bulletin, you can come over here, click on this link, and you just copy and paste it into an email. When the person opens it, there's the PDF. So that can be helpful too, especially if you're communicating with people, you know, like Ryla and Rotary Youth Exchange, all of them. This is a fantastic way to make sure everybody gets your bulletin and sees your stories.
So you're just sharing that by way of email, not P-mail. Is that right?
Exactly. You
Okay.
can just grab the link and send it to whoever you want.
That may solve your problem, Donna.
Right. You know, just keep in mind, like, one of our biggest priorities is keeping all of the members' contact information safe and secure. We have multiple layers of security, you know, so we can all rest easy at night. Anytime there is a hacking within a club, 9 times out of 10, it's been someone didn't use P-mail, populated everybody's email addresses, and the hacker just had everything that had been exposed in that email. And it happens. more frequently than I would like to see, but
Before,
Will this,
yeah, go ahead, Don.
sorry, will this be shared with clubs, or should I share to the people in my club that do the social media and the bulletins and all?
Jay, what's your answer to this? I would like to think that anybody and everybody who's interested can learn it.
Yeah,
Right,
I mean, I mean, right now we're focusing on sharing stories with the district,
Mhm.
with a little bit of touching on the bulletin. I would really encourage any of the clubs at their home club to create a bulletin. It's a really wonderful, professional looking, Rotary branded way of communicating to, you know, your members and potential members.
Mhm.
So I would really encourage you to do it. I mean, this was my project over the holidays. And it was well worth the time.
and a lot of efficiencies can come from our using this this new process with this technology that Rochelle has just been explaining to us. So
Yeah. Yeah. In
right.
fact, when I was helping Paul put the newsletter together and we added a story last minute, and I already had it in the Philadelphia file. All I did was click share with the district, popped it right in there. It was done in like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So Jay, how do you make it mobile friendly and put the read more on there? Is that?
Oh yeah, she didn't cover
Oh,
that. It's really
let
easy.
me show you. So, over here in our story content area, here can be a summary. And then if you want to read more, you'll add it down here below. So we could have like our image up there. And paste that. Let me save this and I'll show you. So now I've got my content down below, the image. And let's go back over to ezBulletin. This time I'm going to do the one-click build. So I don't know what's going to populate here, but right here, you'll see, here's our name, the image, and there's the read more. The other thing that we have added here is you'll see these little check marks and things. If there are any typos or misspelled words, you're going to see like a number here that is a suggestion that you should take another look and fix whatever problems they have noted. Of course,
very helpful.
And you'll see here, we have the club leadership, the Rotary theme, everything in the sidebar. You have a lot of birthdays over the next month in your club.
Yeah.
And Jay Penny, you just had your birthday.
I think that's a mistake.
Oh, is it?
No, that's years
Yeah.
of service. He had his
Oh, years of service. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, there was a mistake in there too, though.
Okay. Hey, I want to make sure, does everybody here have their access to DACdb? I mean, do we need to send out a notice reminding you of your username and password, or have you all been using DACdb? You know how to log into it. Everybody is okay? All right. Message us, please, if you need some help getting into DACdb. All right. Thank you. Jay, did you want to talk more specifically about the process we're launching with the district dispatch while Rochelle is here? Or Rochelle, do you have to sign off now?
No, I'm good. I can hang out
Okay.
with you guys for a few more minutes.
Great.
Sure. So
You want me to stop sharing? Sorry.
Yes, please stop sharing for the moment. Thank you.
okay, sure. So as Lisa mentioned at the beginning and just now, we already started our district newsletter, which is bi-monthly, every 2 months. And that's done electronically now. The first one was sent out, I guess, last week. And we're going to supplement with a monthly quick read, forward-looking stories, maybe 3 to 6 stories of upcoming events or something important, particularly in the programmatic and committee area, maybe upcoming deadlines to get information in. And when you submit that through the stories, you can send it to us, certainly with any images, and we're going to start publishing on a monthly basis, which we're calling the district dispatch. So the difference between the newsletter and the dispatch, the newsletter is more in-depth stories, some backward-looking, some forward. The dispatch is going to be short and stories, and definitely much more forward-looking, more timely kinds of things that are happening. And the idea is to have a regular source for everyone, particularly in the district, to communicate things that are happening in your areas of programs or committee work, that kind of thing. So it's kind of a multi-layer thing, because I think the thing that we were looking at the beginning is, Lisa and I, is how can we improve communication from the district to the clubs, and how can we improve communication between the clubs and the district? So we're hoping we can use this tool to be more efficient and maybe more democratic, how that information gets shared. And so that's a big idea.
And there are a couple of obstacles that it's going to address. One is lost emails, or the risk of maybe Youth Exchange, you've got a nice story, maybe you've emailed it to me, but it comes at a busy time when, you know, it just gets lost in my inbox. And then by the time I look at it, it's like your thing has already passed, or, you know, your thing is happening too soon. And like, there's not enough time to really give it the publicity that it deserves, you know. And I, rather than failing at this job of public image chair, which I'm new at, I want to do a good job with, we thought this would be a way to have all of the data collected online to avoid that kind of glitch happening with, you know, an email getting lost or caught in spam or something. And then also, you know, I know that life is so busy for all of us, and oftentimes, you know, we're not thinking so far ahead, and that I've been contacted with a kind of a last minute request, you know, help, we're having such and such an event. Can you help spread the word about it? You know, well, ideally that announcement could have come a week or two earlier. So with this monthly publication and with some deadlines that we're hoping everybody's going to get used to and you know, align with, we will be able to get your news out in a timely fashion, so that we're really improving communication going both ways, from the clubs to the district, from the programs to the district members, and vice versa, back to the clubs and the committees. So I hope this is making sense. I hope you're
It makes a lot of sense.
like
I think it's great, because there's so many times it's like, who do I send this to? How do I get this out?
But here's part of our ask, in order to be efficient with this. We are asking all of you to do the inputting into ezStories. Is that something that you think?
Well, I would do it that way. I would, but I would just write it in Word, because that's the word processing I know best. And so I would do it that way, and then cut and paste it into.
Yeah. And that works perfectly. That's
great.
Word's a great place to copy and paste in the email or in stories.
Very good.
Yep.
Okay, that's clear. Thank you. Anybody else? All right. Well, I'm excited about this. I know it does feel like you know, a little overwhelming, to say the least. But we all have access to DACdb. We all can, we'll be able to follow the instructions to get ourselves used to typing into the stories box, and how to upload a photo. And it's all going to be like a smooth operating machine that we're all going to reap the benefits of this new system. And I am excited. Jay, did you have any other thoughts?
No, it's easy.
My thought is just remember to hit share, or you don't get it.
Yeah, well, that's true. You do have to remember to do that. Yeah. But again, in addition to Rochelle, please email me if you have any questions too. I'm probably at high school to undergraduate level. She's probably at graduate level. So.
And I'm new at it as well, so I will be learning along with the rest of you. But I do know that Jay speaks very highly of it, as he has actually produced a couple of things on it, and we know it's going to be great. So just a little learning curve, but hang in with us and we'll get through this. And I really am confident that this is going to streamline a lot of stuff and prevent a lot of headaches. And like I said, actually, and let me publicly, Sue Mardinley, I need to apologize to you, because when I was talking about, somebody emailed me asking for promotion and it got lost in my inbox. It was one of your it was something you asked me to help you with, and I felt terrible about it. So that, in a way, that was like a teachable moment, and it's like it inspired me, like, we got to fix this, because I sometimes miss emails and I don't want you to suffer.
You got it done, whatever it was.
Anyway, so do know that I just don't want to feel badly. I want to do a good job and help you get your news out there, all of you. So this is one way to do it. So thank you all for indulging us and for being open to this new system. We appreciate it.